there hockey fans, it's Mikko Raven here, and today I'm gonna do a tutorial video, as today's topic is going to be how to do a career simulation in NHL 21. You've probably seen a lot of people have been doing NHL 20 and NHL 21 career simulation videos, and today I want to show you how to do that step by step. So of course, as I was making a career simulation of myself, you can create your own players. I have created a bunch of players here. I'm gonna take this as an example, Michael Helin, as this is my name. So this is an example of if you want to create a player starting from the NHL for a team you want to play for. And so for me, I'm a player that's playing for the Vancouver Canucks. So this is the information you want to put in to your player if you want to play for a specific team. So your pro team has to be the team you want to play for, and the team you drafted as, and the year you got drafted in. Make sure it's 2020, so you're a rookie this year. Make sure your salary is less than 1 million. I put myself at 3/4 million. I'm not sure what the contract type does, but I'll put myself at one way, and usually a rookie contract is 3 years long. So this is the information you want to put if you want to create yourself as a rookie and do a career simulation of yourself. But what if you want to be a player who gets drafted by a team? You don't choose your own team, as in you would play for a European team or a Canadian junior team first. This is the information you want to put. Let's take this player for example, Oscar Lehtimäki. So let's take this guy for example. So if you want to be a player before you're going to NHL, make sure your pro team is free agent and you're drafted by free agents. Make sure you're undrafted. And just in case, push your salary at under 1 million. And make sure your contract length is 0. And if you want to be like a young player, you know, before you're 80, you can put, you know, if you know what I mean. This guy is 2004, so by the time of this video, he's 16 years old, and this guy should get drafted by 2022. All right, so now let's get to business. So this is the thing you want to do if you want to do a career simulation. This is a step-by-step tutorial. So first off, go to franchise mode. We're gonna start a new franchise mode profile for this tutorial. Okay, so there are 3 options here. There's the classic 31 team franchise mode, or the 32 expansion drafts. Because Seattle Kraken is coming next year, I already created the Seattle Kraken in this game. So we're gonna go with the 32 expansion draft with custom rosters. Please use custom rosters if you want to do a career simulation of yourself. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna select team because I already have Seattle Kraken made already. So we're gonna do Seattle for the create team. Name yourself whatever you want. Let's just call it TUT. Stands for tutorial. Now, because I put myself in Vancouver Canucks, in order to not do anything with it, I'm gonna control a team that's not interfering with the Vancouver Canucks. So if you want to do a career simulation of yourself, please don't choose the team that you're playing for. So in this case, I'm gonna go with Anaheim Ducks. So you can basically do whatever random things you want with this. We're just gonna go with this. And because Seattle is going to be in the Pacific and Arizona is going to the Central, we're gonna do exactly that. Continue. And these are the settings you want to put when doing a career simulation. Turn off owner mode. You can have salary cap on or off. We're gonna keep it on. Make sure you have head coach edit line, so at least your team that you're controlling has a chance. Turn off fog of war. Turn off player morale. Have the CPU traits on, auto-sign free agents, and auto staff management. These are the settings you want to have on and off when doing a career simulation. And here's the overview. Of course, you can go with a fantasy draft if you want, but we're gonna not do that, and our franchise mode length is 25, so let's start the career. Yes, let's keep salary cap on. So here we are in the franchise mode hub. If you're doing a 32 team, which I do because Seattle Kraken is coming next year, of course, we're before the expansion draft, so we're not advanced to the expansion draft. Okay. Okay. Of course, you can. If you're controlling a team, you don't want to win. As for me, I'm doing Anaheim Ducks. You can do a projection lift if you want, but I'm just gonna auto-generate it, so we don't have to bother with that. So okay, Buffalo wins the draft lottery. Sim to expansion draft. Okay. Draft interviews, just continue simming. We're not gonna do this, and yeah, we're not gonna go to the draft interviews. So this is what we're gonna do. Every time when you're starting a new season, always simulate up to September 13th. That's the date when the new season actually starts and you know the new season loads. September 13th. We're not gonna bother with the entry draft, as you know. We don't want to do anything. We're doing just a basic career simulation. And if you get a trade offer, just do whatever you want. You can just pick random options. Just either accept trade or decline trade. Usually, when I get a trade offer, I always put accept trade, since you know I'm not really trying to do anything here. I'm just doing what the other teams want. Alright, when you get the edit captains and edit lines, just do done, because we put the option that the coach are doing this automatically. Okay, so never mind. In year 1 you have to simulate up to September 14th, but every year after year 1, September 13th works. So we're gonna skip the preseason so we can get the actual rosters that will be in the final rosters, the team. Okay, and when you look at the standings that all the stats are in 0, that means the preseason is over, and we can now go look at the main rosters. So the player we want to follow is the player I created. So let's look at the lines. I put myself in Vancouver, if you remember. So here we are. I'm playing with Bo Horvath and my buddy Jared on the second line. So this is what you want. So this is what you want to do at the start of every year. You want to check what overall you are, and you can obviously check your stats if you want. But anyways, this is what you want to look after when you're starting a new career simulation. Look the player you want to look after, check his overall, and check his contract. That is what you want to do at the start of the year. So now that the career simulation has officially begun, we now want to skip to the end of the season. So we want to simulate all the way up to the beginning of the playoffs. Alright, if you get this pop-up that a team is putting a player on waivers, again, you're controlling a team. You probably want to have a punching bag ass or something. Just with the trade offers, do whatever you want. Claim or decline. We're gonna decline this time. Okay, so this is a new feature in NHL 21. The whole trade deadline thing. So when you get to this, the whole trade deadline thing, this is what you want to do. Just you can do whatever you want. I'm just gonna keep current trade block for every year. And when the trade deadline begins, just continue the simming. It does it automatically. Okay, so now the playoffs have begun, and surely enough, the team we don't want our player to go to actually made the playoffs this year, even though we didn't do any drastic decisions. So when the playoffs begin, pretty much don't do anything, just simulate all the way up to the day before the draft. Turns out the team we didn't want to win actually won the Stanley Cup in year number 1. But yeah, usually that doesn't happen, but I guess we just got lucky that the team we don't want to win actually won. So, now that we're in the end of the season and a day before the draft, be sure to document what your player did. Because because these NHL games doesn't keep track of all the season stats. So you want to document the playoff trees, the playoffs player stats, like how you did. Turns out I didn't make it to the playoffs. Maybe did I get traded or anything? Well, we have to check this out. Look at the look at the player stats. Okay, I probably got injured at the end of the season. Maybe that's why I didn't show up in the playoff stats. But if you do make it to the playoffs, make sure to document the playoff stats as well. I played 72 games, scored 21 goals, 22 assists, 43 points, and a -1 +-. Let's look at the team stats. As my player is in Vancouver, so just look after where your team plays. In case of myself, we ended up in 12th in the entire league, with 96 points, 43 wins, 29 losses, and 10 overtime losses. And of course, document the awards, because the award doesn't go, 5 years back or 6 years back, because EA can't put the 2019-2020 Stanley Cup here. Yeah. So yeah. So if you're a Stanley Cup winner, and hey, if the Vancouver Canucks won the Stanley Cup, you could document that you are a Stanley Cup winner, President's Trophy winner, Clarence's Campbell winner, or if you play for an Eastern Conference team, Prince of Wales. And then of course, just try to look at all the trophies, in which you won at. So yeah, in a nutshell, document team awards, your player stats, awards. You don't necessarily have to document the playoffs team stats, but I think it's pretty necessary to document the playoff stats and the playoff tree, because NHL 21 doesn't do this on its own. So yeah, so this is what you want to do when you get to the off season. Just skip these, and when you get to the player retirements, make sure to look at the retired player, because if you don't, if you retired, you probably might not know when you retire, and you also won't see your career stats. And if you wonder if you got traded to another team, you probably would be very confused that where the hell am I? So just in case, make sure to look at the retired players every year to make sure you're retired or anything. So like again, simulate to September 13th, just click OK on everything. Alright, so now we're in the beginning of year number 2, and remember, just rinse and repeat the whole thing. First you simulate to the beginning of the regular season, which means you skip this preseason. Okay. And just remember, every time when you're at the beginning of your season, make sure to look after your player. So we're gonna look at myself. Oh, it turns out I'm on the first line on my second year. So I was on year number 1 and 82 overall. On year number 2, I'm an 85 overall. I have 1 year, and as you can see, I have 1 year left. So what happens when your contract expires? Well, there's only 2 ways things can happen. You either get signed by another team, or then you get a contract extension, which if you're an elite high potential, you'll be very likely to get a contract extension of the team you originally went to, because they don't want to get rid of you. If you no longer can find your player on the team you originally assigned to, you just have to you have to look for you just have to look for every team, in which team you ended up in. And if you can't find yourself, you either have to look harder, or if you probably didn't spot yourself, you either got put in the minors, where you have to look over every team, or then you got assigned to the team where you control as. And if you accidentally go to edit lines of your own team, make sure you put on edit, the head coach can help. Yeah. So yeah. So look after your player at the start of every season, and when you're ready to simulate the next season, simulate it all the way up to the beginning of the playoffs, and then you simulate all the way up to retirement, which is in June of every year, and it's a day before retirement. So you'll see who's the Stanley Cup champion, how the playoffs went, what your stats was like the entire season, etc., etc. Just rinse and repeat that. So yeah. Without editing, this is already a long video. I have recorded for 31 minutes. So yeah, the simulation engine is still very slow. Like I said, it's over 30 minutes long, this video. So if you're gonna document everything, it usually takes 30 minutes to simulate one season. That is if you're gonna document everything, because it of course takes a while to write down everything. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time.